What's up, everybody? Let me see who's in the house here. Salty Devil Dog, what's going on? Mame's Legacy. Lee is up in here. Smell Buds. Dave L. No, that music's not coming. That's only for the premiere. And I can't change it or else I would. Peter's up in the house. Loretta. Indiana Prepper 2. Blue Collar Prepper. Michigan Outpost. Sweet J, baby. Domestic Gangsters up in the house. How you doing? Awesome vehicles, by the way. So let me get straight into it, guys. It would appear that my time here on YouTube has come to an end. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. The finale, the finale here actually means that we're going to be switching the name over beginning next Saturday. We'll reveal the name sometime this week. I'm just messing with you guys. I'm all jacked up tonight. I'll explain in a minute. But yeah, it's I'm on some new coffee. We'll get into it, guys. Let me go ahead and thank Joseph, Arena Valley Farm, Christy V. Thank you hugely. And Polly. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I would never do that, guys. I was sitting here like 10 minutes till watching you folks chat with each other, and it's just awesome. So a huge shout out to Heather, who finally got me onto some Death Wish coffee. That's what's going on here, folks. That's why I'm so wired up. I got the old Death Wish in here. It's just like the standard K-Cups. Man, that stuff was 15 bucks. I went out, I found it in the local grocery store, and Jesus, I did not know it was going to be that expensive. But yeah, anyway, Heather hooked me up. I've got some kind of a Viking horn coffee cup coming. I never seen one like it in my life, but I decided to go ahead and buy some tonight to give it a try. And I feel like I'm French kissing a Rottweiler when I take a drink. This stuff is on fire, son, but in a good way. So thank you for finally pushing me over the edge on that, Heather. We are going to, I need to give a shout out to a couple of channels real quick, okay? Like we always do. Their links are down below. They would very much appreciate if you take time to check them out, maybe subscribe. Domestic Gangsta. I would subscribe just because of the name alone. You know what I mean? Because I'm domestic ungangsta. And North Shore Preparedness. I was actually on his live stream a while ago. Very good dude. So how we doing? Michelle says she loves Death Wish. Pinball, what's up, my man? I'm going to send you an email sometime before Tuesday. We'll get it figured out. Tracy, yeah, you did see me over there. I saw that, but I was trying not to reply to every single person because I was not trying to, you know, hijack his stream. What's going on, Alaska Prepper? Let me get into this real quick. I just ordered, you guys know that I have that flag in my office, the Fallout flag. I just ordered a G.I. Joe Cobra Flag. So Alaska Prepper, hopefully you can appreciate that. It's a full-size flag of Cobra. And I'm going to explain here in a little while why that's important. I want to say real quick, I don't know if TJ Preps is in here or not, but I saw her video, her latest video, where she was catching a lot of heat for calling mags or magazines clips when it comes to guns. And I just want you to know, TJ, I stand with you. It's actually not your fault. In certain areas in the South, we do call them clips. I actually call them both. I interchange them. It doesn't mean you don't know about guns. That's just ridiculous that somebody would call you out on it. Now, Luce is here. How you doing? Hot Rod. So the thing is with gun guys and gun gals who are hardcore into it, I guess they would think it was a little odd, but for the average person who owns a firearm, it's not a huge deal, at least not in my area. So I just want to let you know I support you. You didn't do anything wrong. You're just in the big time now, and you're going to catch heat for everything. TJ, yesterday I published a video and got Iowa and Idaho mixed up throughout the entire video. Imagine the amount of emails and comments I got on that. It happens. You know what I mean? So, as with every Saturday starting last week, I'm going to do a top 10 list. You guys, I got a lot of feedback on last week's top 10. Kind of lightens the mood a little bit because, you know, we're in the middle of SHTF, right? Here we go. I even wrote it down, chicken scratch style. All right, top 10 things I would rather see than a second lockdown. You guys ready for this? Top 10 things I would rather see than a second lockdown. Number 1, a Kardashians marathon. Yeah. The Kardashians, you ever heard of it? Yeah. Number 2, AOC as the Secretary of Education. I would rather see that than a second lockdown. Number 3, Nancy Pelosi's birthday suit. And that's the best way I can put that, folks. Number 4, a Joe Biden daycare center. Take that however you want. There's a bunch of flag comments, so I know somebody's on top of this. Number 5, a Bill Gates medical practice. Yeah. I can tell over here in the sidebar, you guys are hearing me loud and clear. Number 6, The View. That's it, just The View. Uh-oh, super chat here coming in. Kelly Collins, how you doing this evening? Just because from your favorite SC fan. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, just The View. The View, you know, the talk show. I think it's a talk show, right? Number 7, a 2020 remake of Roadhouse. Can you imagine, you know, the Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott movie? Can you imagine what a 2020 politically correct version of Roadhouse would look like? I think I'm sick in my stomach now. Number 8, Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell, anything. I think, isn't she like not in the United States now? Number 9, Chuck Wendig writes another book. For those of you who don't know, most of you are like, what in the world does that mean? That is my mortal enemy in the lit community. Believe it or not, I have a mortal enemy. Me and this guy, we do not get along. He makes fun of everybody, the disabled, just anybody. And he's just not a good human being. We have clashed several times, and Chuck Wendig does not like me, and I do not like Chuck Wendig. And number 10, Katy Perry singing an acoustic song. I tried that once here at home on YouTube, and it did not end well, folks. Yeah, but anyway. So, yeah, again, we're going to be renaming Shotgun Saturday Night because apparently, because of the name Shotgun, it is being buried, it's being suppressed, whatever the case may be. And that's not cool. So we're going to have to rename it. I've got it down to 2 or 3 names. You guys have been awesome with that. Again, we will release those. Christy, I'll get with you there, Klinger, and we'll release those somehow or another fancy sometime this week. Someone suggested that I do a coffee cycle counter on my videos. So that's coming as well. I'm on, what am I on, day 1 and getting it kicking off with Death Wish. So yeah, we're all over it. Tuesday, folks. Tuesday, and Rudy, you can appreciate this. Grim's in here. Here we go. Tuesday, I'm going to be at Grim Survival. We're co-streaming at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are having a competition, folks, to see who has the sexiest hat. And I know that Rudy can appreciate this because he was rocking, I think, a state trooper hat. Some people said he looked like Smokey the Bear. Isn't that bear that tells you not to burn stuff down? Yeah, I've got it ready, Alaska. I've got it. I went out and got it earlier this week. It is locked away. Only one person has seen this hat outside of my family and my boy Caveman James, who I ran into at the gas station, and I was wearing it. And he was like, what in God's name is on your head? So yeah, Tuesday, we're going to see. I'll be over there and we'll run a poll or something for all of the people that are in the house. We'll see who's got the better hat there, Graham. I'm coming for you. All right, so getting to the Vault-Tec flag that hangs in my office. Again, I'm going to be replacing that. I just ordered a new flag, Cobra Flag, tonight. And here's what I'm going to do with the Vault-Tec flag. A lot of people have asked for it. They said, man, I'd like to have a flag just like that. I'm going to wash it. I'm going to take it down first. I'm not going to wash it while it's on the wall. That'd be creepy. I'm going to take it down. I'm going to wash it. I'm going to write something nation related on it, and I'm going to sign it. And I'm going to give it away to one person here on the nation at random once we hit 30,000 subscribers. For anybody that is interested. Ranger Prepper, keep prepping people. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much for that. Susan S., thank you for the super chat. So if anybody is interested in that, try and get people here to subscribe. We're trying to hit 30,000. If you're not interested, you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it'll be something. It may actually be, I may write something down that somebody here has said that's really just made me laugh or something. It's going to be nation related. And what I plan on doing is every 10,000 subscribers, I'll pull the flag that I'm using down. I'll write something and sign it and mail it off and get a new flag. Because why not? I'm just, big money grips over here. Brenda Hobbs. We are in the fourth quarter of 2020. Let's just hope we are playing my Dallas Cowboys. Oh, man. I haven't watched the NFL in a while, but yeah, Dallas. Woo. All that money, and they cannot get back to the Super Bowl. Let's hope that's the case, right? Andrew Julian, Prepping for Life. You guys follow him, by the way. Let's see those super chats. Thank you, my man. Susan S., thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I haven't checked, but they're probably going to demonetize the AOC video from this morning once they catch wind of it. So yeah, super chats are very welcome. Mark, how you doing, man? Same here. Quick, let me just say this really quickly, okay? Some of it came from the kneeling down and the nonsense for me. Some of it came from the fact that I began watching football as a Houston Oilers fan, right? They got rid of the team. So then I started following the Washington Redskins, and now they're gone. And I'm just sick of, you know what I mean? It's like I'm cursed when it comes to picking football teams. So I'm just done, Liz Rambo, thank you and welcome. Warren Moon Years, that is exactly right. Who put that crappy holic? You're daggone right. Drew Hill, Haywood Jeffries, Lorenzo White. Man, I was hardcore, and it crushed me when they moved the team. It really did. Jason in Virginia. I haven't watched it in at least 2.5 years, 3 years. Tecmo Bowl, Milton Roots is awesome. So yeah, the dog tags gave away the 5 sets I had on my desk. I still have a case coming. I had to email the company that makes these things. And they sent back a kind of a hateful email, guys, saying that it was on me. I didn't tell them what to put on the dog tags, right? And so I emailed them back a copy. I had screenshotted a copy of the the receipt with the note attached. And so they are getting them here as quick as possible. After that, I'm going to give them away, and I think I'm going to be done with dog tags, and we're going to move into morale patches, which we'll talk about in a minute. Chris A. AOC video was on point. Thanks for all that you do. AOC. Good Lord. I haven't figured out, I'm undecided if she really is on that level or if she's a lot smarter and it's just an act. I don't know. But how this woman gets reelected, the scary part is that there are people dumb enough to follow the act if it is indeed an act. The Prepared Patriarch, thank you. Enjoying the show. I appreciate that. Julian Butler, the FDA just approved the Wonder Shot. Well, that's lovely, you know, because it's just been tested to death, right? No, I'm good. That's all I'm going to say on that. Nah, I'm good. So morale patches. The biggest hurdle that I've ran into, I found a few places that do the custom morale patches, is if we get the entire logo on there, they cost way more than if we just get like color and text. So I have to make a decision on that. You know, the morale patches are going to be more expensive for me to get than the dog tags, so I will not be able to give them away hand over fist. But I would like to have one for my own bug out bag, and I would, you know, at some point be giving them away. Speaking of, tomorrow's video, in case you have not seen it, it's set for premiere, is on bug out vehicles. I figured we'd throw a little prepping in there tomorrow. So, you know, if you have a bug out vehicle, like a specific bug out vehicle, you may enjoy the video. Who knows? Day one of the coffee cycle. So who knows? Who knows? Gary Latana, thank you for the super chat, sir. Let's see here. You folks have been packing the premieres. And I touched on this at the very beginning, but the coolest part about the premieres for me is sitting there, you know, because I try and be in the premieres or at least in and out. And the coolest part for me is sitting here watching you guys talk back and forth and exchanging, you know, AOC jokes or prepping tips and advice. I saw a lot of canning stuff this morning, which is awesome. You know, at the end of the day, that's why this whole channel was set up. So people that were into prepping, look, let's be real, okay? Non-preppers think we're nuts. Non-preppers don't understand preppers. They think we have tinfoil on our heads. And sometimes when you're the only prepper, let's say in your family or your workplace, and you're surrounded by non-preppers, it can feel kind of lonely, you know? Or when you're brand new to prepping, it can feel lonely. And so I wanted to set up a community where, and TJ's in the house. TJ, I'll talk to you here in just a second. I wanted to set up a community where people could come and not feel like they're crazy and not feel like they're alone. And so to see you folks chatting back and forth in a premiere, it's really cool. TJ, what I was going to tell you, Southern Bell Teachers in the house, but that's not what I was going to tell you. I was going to tell you that I saw your video and it's ridiculous that people were doing that over magazines versus clips. I actually call them both. We call them both here in this area. And unfortunately, you're going to face a lot worse as you continue. I was telling the folks yesterday, I got Idaho and Iowa mixed up throughout my entire video, and they let me have it. And they should have. You know, I should have wrote down the right state. I was just in a hurry. Julian Butler. What do you, let me see here. Sorry, bud. What do you think of the 25,000 in line for food? And that was in, I believe, Dallas, right? A sign of things to come, especially in your more urban areas. We've been pushing pretty much every prepping channel that I watch. We have all been pushing food. We've been hammering the topic of food, partly because we watch Ice Age Farmer and he scares us to death, and partly because there's a substantial food shortage. Exactly right, Rudy. A Great Depression 2.0 is coming. And that's economically, plus there's not enough food to go around. And the analogy we used earlier this week was musical chairs. When the music stops, there are going to be some people without food, sadly. And so as a prepper, you want to make good and sure that you have enough food and that you also know how to produce your own food, grow it, can it, whatever the case may be. So unfortunately, I do think that it is a sign of things to come. just depends on the area. But there are a lot of people hurting right now financially. They either can't find food in their local stores or they can't afford it because the prices have went up astronomically on a lot of things. Andrew Julian, Prepping for Life, Domestic Gangsta. And thanks, Prepper Nation. Thank you, buddy. Please go follow Domestic Gangster. She's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and she deserves it. And there's Kay Marie. What's up? Kay Marie is going to be live streaming. I forget which day. You'll have to tell them here, Kay Marie. But she's going to be live streaming a Christmas dinner, and I cannot wait to see this. I think about, what is that, Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase? I'm hoping it's something like that. If so, you need to sell tickets to that. But thank you for packing the premieres each and every morning, guys. Truly appreciate that. We're going to be doing something different in the upcoming months. Patrick, out here in Dallas, Costco all out of toilet paper, but Costco still had lots of bottled water. Goes to shows people's priorities. Water is the #1 priority prep. I believe so as well, because you need water for so many things. This is Be Ready Today is in the house. What's up, brother? This is non-preppers panicking. When you start to see things like toilet paper go first, this is non-preppers who have that short-term memory where they remember last time the toilet paper ran out. So now they're beginning to panic, in my opinion, and they're just hoarding up all the toilet paper they can get their hands on. They don't know anything about prepping. Jennifer Small, partly because of you and Ice Age Farmer, I'm leaving DC after 40 years to return to Midwestern hometown so I can grow a garden. Awesome, Jennifer. You know, that sounds like, I'm just going to throw it out there, that sounds like a Hallmark Christmas movie script. After 40 years, you're going to return, you're going to find a rancher, you know, who's just looks like Fabio and live happily ever after. I'm predicting it. Unless you're married, and then that would be weird. Jason in Virginia, what did you think of the Global Security Bill and what's up in France? I got to be careful, Jason, what I say here on the stream, but the France thing scares me. For those of you who don't know, the police are just doing things at will over in France. Now, I will say that we have a Second Amendment, and as long as that Second Amendment is standing, they're going to have a harder time doing that here. But if this whole thing is part of a global agenda, we could be looking at the preview of parts of the United States. And thanks for sending that to me on Patreon, by the way, earlier. So we're going to be doing things different once, hopefully there's been no, knock on wood, buffering, because I'm hardwired in, okay, with a 7-foot long, I got the shortest cable that I could find, right to the router, paying $128 for the highest speed internet that Comcast Xfinity has to offer, okay? The computer I'm on is 8 months old with a 720p webcam, and nothing else is running in the house. So hopefully that cures the buffering. If there's any kind of buffering, it's not on me, I promise. Once we cure that, what I'm going to try and do, this was suggested earlier today, and it's an incredible idea, is once a month on the Saturday live stream, I'm going to try and have somebody from the nation join me for the live stream. And we're just going to get to meet some of the nation members. Okay. You don't necessarily have to have a channel. You know, maybe you just want to talk prepping or whatever is going on. And I thought that was a really neat idea. I mean, I can get StreamYard or whatever. I know Jason interviews over at the Angry Prepper other preppers, but I just want to exclusively, you know, be on here co-streaming with nation members because it's our nation. So, you know, I don't know how we'll figure out who's going to be on here or if anybody's even interested, but I thought that was pretty cool. I'm getting a P.O. box this week. I promise. Folks, this has been coming for 3 weeks, and I've just not had time to do it. I went in to mail the packages last week, the dog tags and things, a couple of books, and man, they were busy in there. And then they had to stop and they had to go through and they had to find Australia. I'm looking at you, Klinger. They had to find Australia in the computer and all these different codes. And I asked about, a P.O. box, and they're like, you can do it 6 months at a time, yada, yada. And they start pulling all these forms out. And I'm like, nah, I'll come back and do that one morning early. So one day this week, guys, grow food, militant roots, grow food. I mean, that's pretty much all you have to say. You need to be growing food, folks, because the grocery stores, they're not going to have it forever. And I know you guys are awesome at prepping, but you can't prep enough food forever. Eventually, even the preps are going to run out. So, Liz Rambo, P.O. Box, awesome. Yeah. I hope so anyway. I hope it goes pretty smooth. Now, what I do, folks, is I mail when I mail, I don't mail from the hometown, like the nearest post office. It's usually over at the bug out location. And I filmed a video while I was at the bug out as well. That's going to be coming this week. But yeah, I'm going to set up a post office box over in that area. Christy Klinger Hardy, a reminder, you don't have to, all you got to do is email me. You don't have to donate super chats, Christy. Thank you. A reminder that everybody is welcome in the nation family, and diversity is a beautiful thing. Respectful debate is welcome. Trolling equals time out. Yeah, this place is for everybody, okay? Diversity. We're all from somewhere different. We all look different. We all believe different, and that's okay, all right? Really, the only two rules that we have, or at least that I have, if I see it, you be gone, is racism, can't deal with it, cannot deal with racism whatsoever, guys, and physical threats of violence, all right? And anything beyond that, the blue wrenches see it, they will nail you for it, even if it's borderline. So please just keep it respectful. I mean, that's pretty much it. Thank you for that super chat, Christy. But I know I saw there was stuff going on Facebook, people getting propositioned via messages or something. I don't know. Nobody was propositioning me. What? Somebody don't like the cut of my jib? What's going on there? What do we do to get dog tags? Outlaw Annie. That's what I'm saying. I spent several $100s on a case of green dog tags, and I can't get them. I had to finally contact the company. But we're going to be switching over to morale patches once those come and I give the dog tags away. I'm just going to have to go with a different company altogether. A quick thank you to the Coffee Club. I see all those. For those that don't know, the Coffee Club, you show up in green, your name does, and then you have a coffee mug. Once you make it so far, you get the Black Rifle coffee logo. I'm just saying. And all of the Coffee Club money goes straight to charity. All the people that are buying merchandise, that goes straight to charity. Folks have been asking about a hat. They've been asking about new logo items. They're already in the pipes. I am just waiting on YouTube to approve it. The folks on Patreon, you guys are awesome, and we are donating this week. For those of you who are not on Patreon, we are actually going to be donating to Homes for Heroes, which is a charity that helps build homes for homeless vets or repair homes for vets and also first responders. And with that, we're going to get into a little news that I saw right before I came over. And then it's the Wild West up in here. We're just going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Must be your deodorant, John. I don't know. Duke Cannon, whatever. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I got you. Nobody's propositioning me. It ain't the Duke Cannon. I'll tell you that right now. You put that Duke Cannon on, guys, and you need a crowbar to pry them ladies off of you. Soap and Glory. I'm not here to sell it, guys. There's no links below to it. But ladies, there is a version of Duke Cannon called Soap and Glory, and it's awesome. My wife uses that. Angela Tate. Hello from Oklahoma. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Angela. I don't do anything. I sit up here and run my mouth. All right. So Pennsylvania judge tosses Trump case. I saw that right before I came on here, and I'm like, well, that's not good. That could potentially seal the deal. And here's why. Rebecca Stamper. How about I'm good on a coffee mug, Becky in Virginia? I haven't thought about that. We could do that, actually. That would not be hard to do. Thank you for that. Bob. Show of in the comments if you want the morale patches to be up for purchase. Show of hands. Thank you for that, Bob. Yeah, the deal is this. I think for the basic morale patch, just for like the sewn on, it's sewn on, it's not screen printed. The Prepper Nation name and colors, the cost is around $10, and that's not including shipping. The logo is going to be more than that. So I don't want them to be priced to the point where people can't afford them. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Pennsylvania, a lot of hands going up. Pennsylvania judge tosses Trump case. Now, this is potentially bad news for you Trumpers, myself included, because according to Giuliani and Trump's legal team, they have evidence of election fraud. Okay, they have the evidence. Now, in order for it to stick and for something to actually be done about the election fraud, the evidence has to be presented in court. And what they're doing is they're trying to present this stuff in court, and judges keep throwing the cases out. So in other words, these judges will not allow this evidence to be shown in court. If Trump or his legal team release the evidence to the public, like via Twitter or something, or in a press conference, buffering, there's a shock, then it may not be admissible in court. So in other words, it may not be able to be used to put people in prison, right? Or to win Trump another 4 years. So they're trying to do it the right way. They're trying to use the legal system the way that it's intended to be used. And the federal judges, this is definitely a conspiracy, guys, because all of the areas where the fraud took place, the federal judges were all put there by Democrats. They're hugely left-leaning areas. And so the left understood before all of this happened, you know, that Trump is going to court. And so they were very careful about where they did this, because now everything's getting thrown out of court and it's not looking very good. I'm keeping the hope, but yeah, Pennsylvania judge just a while ago tossed yet another case out. Jamie B, hello from East Texas. Hello, Jamie. How are you? Thank you for the super chat. There's a face-off in Atlanta coming up. Do you guys see this? Pro-Trump supporters are geared up in Atlanta and ready to go. And then you have, I guess, the Tifas or whatever they're calling themselves, the former nation of Chaz out there getting ready to face off with these Trumpers in Atlanta. So keep your eye on that. Hopefully it does not turn violent, but it does appear that it may. Loretta, I agree. Our judicial situation, judges should be there, even on the Supreme Court, just to interpret the law. But it's gotten so political now, Loretta, that I mean, you have to kind of pick and choose where you put stuff in court, just to not have the stuff thrown out Even they're not doing anything illegal, guys. You know, legally, you should be able to contest close elections and ask for recounts. And if you have evidence, you should be able to go to court and present it. And they're not being allowed to do it. Jamie B, glad to finally catch you live. Thank you for being here. Toronto, Canada is beginning a 28-day lockdown. What do you guys think that's going to look like? I'm not in Canada, but it's probably going to look pretty bad. Yeah, it is definitely a process, Christy, with an I. Jennifer Small, Antifa thugs always seek violence. Careful patriots. Yeah. For the pro-Trumpers, you know, I know you're frustrated, but you have to pick and choose battles. You have to be very smart about it. You don't want to give the extreme left any more ammunition, in my opinion. I'm trying to be as objective as possible about that. But if you have evidence, the courts should be allowing that evidence. That's just ridiculous, you know? And then, of course, the mainstream media is like, well, they haven't presented any evidence. They're trying to. They've been trying to. Tamara, thank you very much for that super chat. Patriot Prepper, can I get a shout out? I just started a prepper channel, of course. Patriot Prepper. Actually, if you email me, I would be glad to link that for you, Patriot Prepper, on Tuesday. I just don't have the URL in front of me. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. So I go over to Twitter because it seems like the world's burning down at our feet, or at least here in the US and in Canada. And what are the top 3 trends? This is why we have so many people asleep, guys. So many non-preppers. The top 3 trends on Twitter: college football scores, hashtag if I owned Twitter, and Tristan Thompson signs with the Celtics. These are the top 3 stories, right? Not 25,000 people in Dallas who are on the verge of starving to death. Not Toronto going into a month-long lockdown. Not the shortages that we're starting to see in the price increases, you know, or even the fact that Trump just had something thrown out. No, we're talking about the Boston Celtics and Tristan Thompson, who, when I did follow the NBA, was a, you know, borderline scrub. I was a Cleveland fan. He's not all that. But these are the top 3 stories, really, worldwide? Got to be kidding me, man. Tomorrow, I'm going to be making steak jerky for the second time. First time it turned out, it was okay. The seasoning wasn't the best, so we went back and got seasoning at Rural King. Much better, I've heard anyway. And but I ate it, and I'm still here. So the second time around, I'm going to try and film some of it. And for those of you folks that have never used a dehydrator, or maybe you're thinking about getting one, I'm just going to walk you through the process. It's really easy, and it's a good way. Some people do chicken, some people do veggies and fruits. I like steak. I really do. It's a lot cheaper than buying like Jack Links and stuff like that. And I know it's clean because I made it. Let me see here. Someone asked this morning, actually via email, if you guys are interested in networking with people around you, since we're in a live chat right now and there are 888 people in here, if you want to drop the general area, like your region that you live in, don't drop your street address, folks. If you drop the general area that you live in, you folks might be able to network and find some people here in the nation that actually live in your area and go from there. Totally up to you guys. It's not required. Again, don't put your street address, phone number, or anything like that. There may be 2 or 3 of you in the same general area that want to start a mag or something like that. It is flying, so you may actually have to go back and replay the chat. And, you know, if you're in the U.S., Klinger, she's probably not going to be in your mag. She's way around the world. There's several Southwestern Virginias in here, and that's kind of got me a little. My antennas are up because I'm like, man, my bug out location's in Southwest Virginia. And all these people around me, they're going to see me one day up in one of these Walmarts or something, these China Marts or Rural King. Bristol, Virginia, Wolf Eyes. Bristol's beautiful. Love Bristol. See you in Roanoke. Roanoke's turning into Little Chicago if you're talking about Roanoke, Virginia. Andrew Julian, Patriot Prepper Nation, thanks for the shout outs. Thank you for that super chat, brother. All right, so this is the part where I tell you to, if you haven't done so already, to throw a big thumbs up if you don't mind, or thumbs down, whatever. Push it with your finger, though. I was on the Angry Preppers live stream last night, and there was this big debate going on. People were talking about teabagging the thumbs up and thumbs down. So yeah, your finger works just fine. You can use your finger to do this, guys. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're trying to get to 30,000 here in the nation. And just to remind you, there are links down below to help the channel out. Things of this nature. Because again, I did not realize, Heather, I didn't realize that Death Wish coffee was $15 for the K-Cups. I about fell on the floor. I almost asked for a price check. I said, no, they didn't put this in the wrong place, son. All these K-Cups, $6, $7, $15. But I had to try it. All right, so guys, for the rest of the time here, we're going to just do questions. If you guys have video topics, drop them. And if you have questions for Tuesday's live stream, if you want me and Grim Survival to cover something together, you can drop it here. This is the part where I just pivot from my Mead notebook paper, I think it's Mead, all the way over here. What kind of meat is best for making jerky, Michelle? I like steak. I get a good cut of steak with very little fat, trim the fat off, and then I cut it. Sometimes you can find it pre-cut, but I try and cut it to 1/4 inch thickness. That seems to work really good. But it's a matter of preference. In my area, a lot of people like venison deer. And then I know a few guys who do chicken as well. They cut it real thin. And what is a super chat, Tammy? Down below the chat box, next to the unbearded smiley face, is a $sign, the fiat currency. You can click that, and the super chat pops up in colors, and everybody can see it for several minutes. What do you think about? Oh, that's a good question, actually. Oh, Kelly Collins sent you an email. I thought those were rolls of toilet paper. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, who in the world? I'll check it here in a minute. Loner says, what do you think about people buying survival gear from the Dollar Tree? It can be done. It can be done. What I would suggest, and this is just me, I do not skimp on the bug out bag. I do not skimp on fire making materials like ferro rods and things like that. Get good stuff. I do not skimp on a knife. Get a decent knife because you're going to use it a lot. Make sure you have plenty of methods to make fires, and try to get a waterproof bug out one. You're not going to be able to pick up stuff. What are we buffering? Really? You're not going to be able to pick up stuff like, the NOAA emergency radios, walkie-talkies, things like that. But the basics you can get at the Dollar Tree, including foods. A lot of the foods there you can get. So, yeah, it can be done on a budget for sure. Patriot Allen, thank you very much for that super chat. Buffering in Tennessee. What make is your bug out bag? Bucks Prepper UK. What do you recommend? I recommend you can get Army surplus. Now it's going to cost you a couple of $100 depending on where you get it, but I have seen them on Amazon and eBay. They are Army surplus rucksacks. You can get the, just the rucksack itself. These are U.S. Army issue, or you can get the ones with like the racks that go against your back to make them easier to carry. And look for Alice or Molly. That's Molle. And I actually prefer Molly, but I haven't had a whole lot of hands-on with Alice. I think Alice, if I'm not mistaken, was more of a Vietnam era. I could be wrong, but I think they used that a lot during Vietnam, right? And yeah, so like I said, with the rucksack, you can, for a bug out bag, I mean, you can use a Paw Patrol book bag. But if you have far to go or you're going to be using it a lot, you don't want a Paw Patrol book bag. You want to go ahead, if you have the money, and spend extra money and get something military grade, because they don't make junk. Waffen, thank you very much. Yeah, I was thinking that they did. Scott, it could be that Alice is better. I've just used them a little bit. I've used Molly a lot, and it's just what I'm used to. I have a lot of like the add-on bags and stuff. Jody Lofton, God bless you from Edmond, Oklahoma. Thank you. Ruby Red, Oklahoma. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you do sell the morale patches, Loner said, at least you will know who's part of Prepper Nation during SHTF. I know, right? They have so many different morale patches. But the one thing that I look for when, because I'm big on eBay. Certain things I'll get on Amazon, certain things I'll get on eBay. There are a ton of morale patches actually on eBay, but some of them are screen printed, and I don't like that. I like them sewn. I like to pay a little extra. I think it's called the hook and loop or whatever, where they have the Velcro on the back. But yeah, they got them after all the movies, man. All the 80s movies, games. I saw one that said it's the Starbucks logo, but it says guns and coffee. I thought about getting that one actually. Embroidered, yeah. And that's the thing, Shattered Ankle. I can put in an order for cheap Prepper Nation morale patches, but I don't want to get something cheap that's gonna, the logo's gonna fade off or it's screen printed or whatever. I want to get it to where it's gonna last, but I don't want to get it to where it's $25 a patch. Me personally, I don't want to pay $25 for one. Michelle, what are your thoughts on going cashless? Will we have a chance to turn our cash in once we go cashless? Not sure what they do with the money in the banks. In my opinion, if they go cashless, they'll give you a chance to turn your money in, and I guess digitize it. I'm not a fan of it. I think that Alaska Prepper did a video on this one time where I think he made reference to like a yard sale or a garage sale or something. But he basically said, look, you don't want to go cashless because no transaction at that point is off the books. None. You can't do anything off the books. You're going to pay taxes everywhere and be tracked everywhere. I don't like the idea of being tracked. Like, for example, when you go on vacation, my wife, she keeps her location on. And I hate like when we walk into a store and it'll ding and there's like a coupon or an advertisement for the store that we walked into. And I'm just like, leave us alone. You know, I'm not big on cashless for that reason alone. It's just like you have no privacy. And the other reason I'm not big on cashless, to be honest, is you can't save any money. You know how sometimes at home you can just put money in a jar and save it back for a rainy day? There's no more of that once we go cashless. They know about every penny that you have. So yeah, I'm not a fan. In other words, Lena Woods, DollarTree.com has 120 rolls of toilet paper for $30 for those who can't find it in local stores. They ship straight to your house. That would be the kind that will not take it, that we call it Chuck Norris toilet paper. It won't take crap off anybody, but it's better than nothing. So thank you very much for the super chat and the info on that. Adam, hey John, what is your favorite nut and plain, salted or seasoning? I mean, walnuts and cashews, I guess is what we're talking about, like nuts, or is that a code word for EMP? Yeah, and salted for sure. How do you reply to someone on here, Prepper Trucking? You put the @ symbol and then their name, and you just select it, and whatever you type, they'll see it. Money out of the bank, Northern Girl Hobbies. Yeah, I'm not huge on keeping money in the bank. We bank locally, and our bank's awesome. The people that work there are fantastic. They're always helping me, but I always have the weirdest questions. Like, I keep so little money in the bank, they probably think I'm borderline homeless, right? And then I'll go in and I'll have the strangest questions like, can I use this card in your ATM? Because I'm so tech illiterate, you know, and they're out here trying to help me like I'm some kind of a child or something. But yeah, I'm not big on keeping it in the bank. I don't like to enrich the banks. Shadow Monk, any suggestions on starting a prepper channel? Thanks, John. God bless. Florida Prepper here. Love your channel and been here since about 500 followers. I appreciate that. It would take way too long to talk about on here. My email's below. It's johnmdavisbooks@gmail.com. If you can email me, Shadow Monk, and just put like in the subject line, YouTube channel help or something like that, I'd be glad to help you. Because I've learned a lot of stuff the hard way. So I can definitely help you avoid some of the mistakes. Ron, amen on Money in the Bank. No, no, no. They've almost got it set up though to where you have to have, like, we went to rent a car, and I'm the driver of the house. We went to rent a car a couple of years ago, and they wouldn't rent us the car without a. We were going on vacation without a. My wife has a debit card, and they're like, "Well, you can't use that debit card. He has to have one because he's driving." I'm like, "Dude, we're on the same account." Like, the only thing missing is it's in her name and not mine. It's a joint account. So I had to go to the bank, pay whatever it was, like 12 or 13 bucks to get a card, and then they had to mail it to me. It was just ridiculous. It really was. Just to rent a car. You know, they wouldn't let us pay for it up front. They wouldn't let us do anything. John, did you get a deer yet? TH2. No, I typically don't deer hunt. I will eat deer meat, especially the jerky. I don't do a lot of hunting. I mostly try to fish. I usually catch the bluegills that are about this big. Every now and then I'll get a big one. But when I do hunt, it's predator animals, nuisance animals. Someone asked, thank you, Christy. Someone asked if you think the truth will come out before or after Christmas. It depends on what they're talking about. If they're talking about the election, it may never come out. The courts are not, they're just not allowing it right now if they're talking about the election. if they're talking about the COVID or something else after. Prepper Tribe, thank you. That's actually not bad. Oh, be ready. Yeah, man, don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. Be ready at all, man. Not a bit. And just to let you know, be ready since you're in here, brother. Pinball is going to begin streaming on Tuesday at 8, and then myself and Grim are going to co-stream at 9. So 10's wide open if you're game, if you're down for it. Totally up to you, man. Friends, now is the time to make sure your preps are in order. Domestic Gangster. Yes, it is. But daggone it, I saw Friends and I thought it was a question about the TV show. And it broke my heart for like half a second. Rachel and Ross, man. Yeah. Hopeless romantic. Jay Fields. Hey, John. Sorry I got in here late. You did not miss a whole lot. Other than the fact that I finally tried Death Wish coffee. And there you go. And my God, it's strong. There's no way that I can drink 8 cups of that a day. Yeah, Lori. Oh, yeah. I've had people compare me to Ross in real life, the whole professor. What was he on there, though? He was like into, oh my God, I don't remember what kind of professor he was now. But yeah. Paleontologist or something. My husband isn't allowed any breaks unless it is like his arm or something. Oh, good Lord. Lori N, wired for days on that coffee. Well, I hope not. I am a Death Wish coffee virgin, guys. I'm losing my virginity tonight on Death Wish coffee. So if I'm up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, not going to be good. Not going to be good. With your prepping, are you growing food? Shade Tree Talks. Growing some, but mostly like right now, mostly squash and stuff. And we have somebody who cans it for us. We're still trying to learn how to can. We don't want to mess it up too bad, make it unedible. We normally do green beans and squash. Prepper Tribe, Redskins for life. No Washington football team. Just showing a little support. Thank you. What is the Washington football team? That is like the most generic. That reminds me of the original Tecmo Super Bowl back in the 80s, where they weren't allowed to use the real name. So it just said Washington, and it just had the regular colors. It's ridiculous. What all animals do you have on the Ponderosa, dear God, that I have or that are out in the woods? The animals that I have here, one of them is asleep right there on the couch. Anna. God, she is. Hey, baby. Hey, Anna. Oh, yeah. Yep, there it is.